Welcome everyone to the Humanitarian Heartbeat podcast with your girl, Nia Imani. And I have the pleasure of interviewing, her name is Eboni Stiff.
Oh.
What's up? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I can't
You coming
complain.
from what Trina say to 305? What she say?
Yes, the 305 and all the way live. Dade County
Don't
in
make
the
me.
building.
You ain't. I was outside back then. Anyway,
Oh, we inside taking naps now.
I just woke up
We
from one and
we ain't
not
outside.
playing.
Yeah, we
Okay.
ain't outside no more.
I'm going to read your bio so everyone can hear how amazing you are, and then we'll get into the questions, okay?
All right, let's do it.
In the short time since receiving her real estate license, Eboni has already surpassed millions of dollars in residential listings and sales combined in Tampa and Miami, Florida area. Not $2, y'all, millions, okay?
Yes, yes.
After giving birth to her son, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. 10 years later, she is proud to say she is.
Cancer free.
Amen. Amen.
Yes, yes.
Ebony is also the author of Speak Now or Forever Hold Your Peace memoir and the voice of Speak Now or Forever Hold Your Peace podcast. She even has her own bails bond company
Yes.
entitled Speedy Breeze Bail Bonds Inc.
Yes.
Ebony's resilience, hard work, patience, personality, professional, and personal experiences proves that she is an outstanding realtor, breast cancer thriver, author, podcaster, bails bonder,
Yes.
and so much more. Ebony is the,
Uh,
in all capital, entrepreneur.
oh,
Ebony,
thank you. Yes,
the
yes,
first,
yes.
listen, because I know they saying, what? The first question is, who do you say you are?
Oh my gosh. I say that I am a child of God, and through him I can do all things. And I would say I'm a daughter. I love my mom, daughter first, a mom, and a great friend. A great friend. So that's who I would say I am.
There's so many questions. So, how do you start on being, because you come from the inner city, correct or no? Okay. So, how do you go from the inner city to selling millions? How does that work? What was that story?
No, I don't know. I often ask my mom, "How did you raise me down there?" Right? So I ended up moving from the inner city as soon as I graduated high school. I graduated from the Miami Northwestern Senior High School. So, yes, love my high school. It's a thing. It's a whole thing. You have to be from there to understand, but it is a thing. So, shout out Miami Northwestern Senior High School. We are the best in the land. But okay, we're not here to talk about that, but period. So I moved from there I went to college at USF. So when I went to USF, I fell in love with the city in Tampa. That's where I am. And I just had to study hard, and I had to want more for myself, and I had to want more for my kids. And that's how I went ahead and just did what I needed to do and surpassed selling millions and millions of dollars of sales in real estate. So it was just wanting better for myself, wanting better for my kids, and that's all I needed. That was all the determination I needed. I got out, I saw better, I wanted better, so I did better.
So easy. Was it that easy?
Yeah.
The way that it was?
Yes, yes, because okay, so I left young, right out of high school, no time to think, right? I graduated and I was gone maybe 3 weeks later, and that was it. So it was easy for me because I was, 18. I didn't have kids. I didn't have any of those things holding me down. And so I left and I didn't look back. And some friends went with me from high school. We were there in college together. But it was easier because I was younger and I didn't have the things tie me down. I didn't have to weigh so many options as I would now. Would I just pick up and move somewhere now? It probably wouldn't be so easy.
Understood.
So yeah,
Understood.
yeah.
But who told you to go from, inner city to being a realtor? Like, when did you say, like, "Oh, this is what I want to do"?
That being a realtor wasn't in my cards. Um, Being a bail bondsman wasn't in my cards. Life happened, and those are the cards that life dealt me. So I actually wanted to be a social worker. My mom was a social worker, so that's what I wanted to be. That's what I went to school for. That's what I got my degree in. However, when I got diagnosed with breast cancer, I had to find other things to do while getting treatment and still make money. So entrepreneurship was the way that I had to go. So that's how I ended up in those fields.
Talk about your diagnosis. How old were you? Walk us through that time.
28 years old. I was actually breastfeeding. My son was very, very young, and I felt lumps in my breast. So of course I'm like, okay, you're breastfeeding, your breasts are changing and things of that nature. So didn't pay too much attention to it until it didn't go away. So after a couple months, I'm like, okay, this may be a little more serious. Let me go get it checked out. Girl, I went and got it checked out, and they were like, nope, it's nothing. You should be fine. You're so young. I was only 28. You're so young, just we'll watch it grow, just come back. And I thought about it, like literally, I kept going to church, and for whatever reason, all I kept hearing was, the devil is trying to kill you. The devil is trying to kill
Wow.
you. And so I went back and I had to advocate for myself so strong. I'm like, take this out. I don't want it to be in me and grow. Like, take it out, take it out. So finally, he was like, well, you're going to be fine. I'll take it out. He was supposed to do a lumpectomy. He ended up doing a biopsy instead and did not tell me. So I went back for my follow up. Actually, I had to call them. I'm like, hey, did you get the results back? You're like, what's going on? And, at first you're like, no news is good news. So, you're just like, I'm good. Nobody's called me back. Then I was like, no, I need it in writing. I need to see. So 2 weeks later, the doctor literally walks in the room and he's like, oh, I'm surprised. It was some cancer in there. Yeah, exactly. I was like, what? What? Yeah. That means he didn't even look at my results. He didn't care. He didn't look at my results until as he was walking into the room because he thought it was nothing. So I said to him, I said, okay, well, we did a lumpectomy. So what's next? He goes, no, I did a biopsy instead. So we have to rush you into surgery to get the rest of the lump out because now we know it's a tumor. So by that time, I'm freaking out. I'm upset. Like all the things are going through my head. And I had to have an emergency surgery to get the tumor taken out at this point, which he didn't think it was. By this time, the cancer had started spreading. So I had to have some lymph nodes removed. I had 5 surgeries within that month. And finally, I was not with him. I had 3 with him. Then I transferred to another hospital, another doctor. And then by that time, because I was so young, they were like, listen, we're trying to save your breast, but at this point, like the cancer's all over, it's starting to spread. You're gonna have to have a mastectomy. I'm like, can you take them both? And they were like, no, we can't. And I'm like, like whatever. I don't care. They're trying to kill me, so I'm gonna kill them, and we just gonna keep it moving. So that's what I did. Yeah.
What is do you the notion that you were too young, the fact that you had to call up for your follow-up, the fact that he never looked at your results and looked at it as he's walking in, the fact that you never knew, you did not know you did not have a lumpectomy, it was only a biopsy. I mean, what does that mean in health? I mean, in healthcare, it was it because you were young, because you were black, because he didn't care? What do you think of
All
these things?
all kind of red flags, and I just feel like it's because I was young, because I was black, and because I just didn't fit the criteria. And what is the criteria? Now that as we grow and we learn things, Is there really a criteria? No, there's symptoms and their diagnosis. Stop trying to fit us into a box. We just don't work that way. There's so many things, there's so many different factors and things that are going on with people's bodies that it just taught me that I can't be quiet. I have to advocate for myself. I have to let as many people as I know advocate for yourself and don't take no for an answer. If your body is telling you something is wrong, something's wrong. Something is definitely wrong. And they don't know. They don't know. So they try to, oh, and the other thing, oh, well, there's no breast cancer history in your family. Okay, well, it got to start somewhere with somebody. So maybe I'm the somebody. Maybe I'm it. But you can't just exclude me because it doesn't make sense in your field of study. No. Yeah. Yeah. Because my sister was diagnosed with it as well. Unfortunately, she did pass away from it 3 years ago. However, did it really start with us? We don't know. We're speaking out about it because a lot of times they're like, "What happens in the house, stay in the house." A lot of times, like the elders in my family, I can't speak for everyone's family, but the elders in my family didn't talk about the health issues that they had, if they even knew, if they had insurance to even find out, or if they were misdiagnosed. So, did it really start with us? It hurt me because it was like, "This can't be happening," right? Like, "This cannot be happening." However, I had to respect her choice. So, it was her choice not to get treatment, so everything happened in the way that she wanted it to happen, and I have to respect that. So, even though it hurt me, it's her life, it's her choice, it's her body, and all we could do is respect it and be there for her in the way that she wanted us to be, not in the way that we would have chosen for her. I think kind of the stigma that goes with that because everybody knows you're sick, right? So I just don't think she wanted that for herself.
I understand. What does that do for you in terms of advocacy, in terms of using your voice? It was very powerful for you to say it's your choice. So, do you tell your story, but always end with whatever you want to do? How does that impact your advocacy?
I always say it's whatever you want to do, but I say this is what I did and
Mhm.
this is what saved me. So this is why I believe what I believe.
Mhm.
And so I always leave it. It's always your choice, right? At the end of the day, people are going to make whatever choice they want, but sometimes just hearing what someone went through or just getting a different perspective helps whatever choice that they make. And as long as they're happy with whatever choice they made, and I feel like sometimes we don't make educated decisions because we
Mhm.
just don't have the knowledge. So if I give you the knowledge, it's up to you to do what you want to do with it. I'm never mad, never upset, but I can tell you what worked for me. And as long as you make an educated decision and you have all the information, then what there's nothing else we could do besides support you.
Yeah, that's a word. That's a word. And even in the midst of you dealing with treatment and then dealing with your sister's diagnosis, how in the world did you decide you wanted to get into bail bonding you, the sheriff now? How did you?
So that was because of my sister too, right? I tell people this story all the time. So I'm at home, right? And I'm like, what can I do to make money? What I can't go to work. Nobody's gonna hire me. I'm going for treatment. I have to make money, right? And my sister kept going to jail for small things, very minor things, or self-defense type things,
Okay,
right?
this is hilarious already.
She kept going to jail, small things, but she kept going. And I was like, I spent over $1,000 one month finding her out, right? And I'm like, there's a million people in the world like you. I can do this. So the plan was I'm gonna go get my license. She gonna get me some clients and we gonna be good. Like I'm gonna bond the people out. She never went to jail again. I got my license. I was like, that's not how this was supposed to go. Like you
That's
supposed to
good,
give me
but
it was great. But you were supposed to give me clients, girl. Like, what is happening here? So That's how my sister, I ended up in bail bonds, and, I didn't like the way she was treated by some of the bail bonds. They treat people, like they're not human, like,
Really?
we're all one decision away from going to jail, okay? Everybody.
One quick decision.
Yes, like, if you mess with somebody's kids or something,
Yeah.
or a family member or just it's just something, so I don't treat people in a bad way. I contact them. Actually, one of my bail bond clients was I sold him a house.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, we're people. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. So, yeah, so I got into it because of her, and I've been doing it now, ooh, 14 years.
Is it that easy? I mean, once again, let me just bail
No,
you out.
no,
I mean,
no, bail bonds is the bailing out part is easy, right?
okay,
It's the if they don't go to court and you have to catch them and find them.
you catch them.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, you going to court. I will find. We are women. We can find anybody. Where are you hiding?
Yeah, I'm a detective, but I'm doing it at home. I ain't stalking you outside the house.
No, I'm in the car. I got the crew, I got the handcuffs, I got the badge. Because if they don't go to court, let's just say the bond is 10,000. If they miss court, I'm responsible for that
Oh
$10,000.
no.
Yeah, so you got to go.
See, I don't know if we can do this in Philly. It's a little different.
But you choose who you bond out. So
There,
I try not to do bonds that big. I like the little bonds cuz they don't tend to run.
there.
They go to court and it's not bad.
Ebony.
So yeah. So when you see people like on TV, oh, chasing people, that is not fun. You are at risk. That means they're at risk of losing money. That's not fun. I don't want to do that. I want to do the paperwork. Yes. The paper Yeah, the paperwork means we're making money. We don't want to stake out nobody. Yes. What you gonna do? Cause I'm coming.
Ebony.
Yes. Girl, put your hair back, put on a hat, put some sneakers on. Yes.
Oh,
They gotta
you
go. They gotta go.
you in it for real. Now, is this what you talk about in your book? Because you an author. You got stories for days. What do you talk about? Tell us the title and what do you talk about in your book?
So in the book, I talk about speak now, never hold your peace. And the memoir. So I actually talk about it's not an exciting time in my life,
Mm,
but I went through hormone treatment for cancer for 10 years. At the end of that, my menstrual cycle returned. So they were afraid that the cancer would return because my cancer was positive for all three receptors.
mhm,
So that's why I was getting hormone treatment to, prevent recurrence. So when my menstrual cycle returned, they suggested that I get a hysterectomy. Okay, no problem. I'm done, having children. Nope, not a problem. During the hysterectomy, the doctor punctured my colon and did not tell me. Sent me home to basically die. So 2 days later, I'm back in the hospital, not knowing what's wrong with me, just in extreme pain. My stomach is swollen as if I'm pregnant, and I don't know what's wrong with me. So in the emergency room, I didn't even discover it then. I was just told she has to go right now or she's going to die. Like I was within hours of passing away. So when I woke up to a colostomy bag. So my life changed in that instance. So in the book, I talk about what that was like learning what happened to me because I didn't learn what happened to me until days later
mm,
and then trying to adjust to what life is going to be like with this colostomy bag. So in the book, I just take readers through what I was going through. I was in the hospital for 17 days unexpectedly. So I just take the readers through each one of those days of what I was actually going through. So it's very emotional, very real, but it's needed. And the title is Speak Now, Never Hold Your Peace is because even after all of that, people are still trying to silence me and they don't want me to talk about what happened. They don't want me to tell what the doctor did. No attorney will take my case because of the hospital. So we're just gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna be quiet. Who's that gonna help? I feel like I would be helping harm someone else by not telling what happened. So I'm not gonna do that. So yeah.
what's going on?
I don't know. I think I look. I don't know. That looks like stupid.
No.
I don't know, but I think this is a problem in our community.
Mhm.
In all seriousness, I think it's a problem in our community. And then when I started speaking up and I go to different events and I just speak to people and tell them what happened, you would be amazed at how many people are like, "Oh, this happened to so and so," or maybe this is what was wrong with this person. It's really sad. It's really sad what we go through. We're not taken serious in the medical field at all. Or sometimes they look at us as, oh, they just want pain pills or, things like that. So they just pass us off as if nothing has happened or like our symptoms, excuse me, don't fit the criteria. So there's nothing wrong with us. It's all in our head. And it's sad. It's really sad. It's really sad.
Thank just thank God, because hours away from passing is crazy. And then for her to say, "Oh, my bad. I
Oh,
bumped
it
you," like,
yes.
what?
So she called the doctor while I was in emergency surgery to tell them what she did. And so that's how they were able to just locate the problem
Oh,
quicker. And, it was determined that I needed a colostomy bag. And so when she came into my hospital room, I can't remember the day off the top of my head, but it's in the book. She offered me an apology and told me that she'll be more careful in patients in the future.
I just don't even know
That's
what to say.
that's what Are you serious? I recorded it. I have it recorded because I was sitting there just, on my phone and everything. Actually, no, my friend was in the room with me and she recorded it. And said I was just at a loss for words, even at that moment, because it's like you almost as a human being, you didn't care about me enough as a human being to say, hey, I punctured your colon. I don't know how bad it is. It may not be nothing, but maybe you need to stay in the hospital a couple. She sent me home the same day of my surgery. It was outpatient surgery.
She didn't care. That's what that means. She did
No,
not care.
she didn't care about me as a human being. So it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense.
Well, I'm glad that you are refusing to be silent, because that is insane.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Ebony.
Yes.
And then not only are you not silent, not only did you write a book, you have your own podcast. You just said, "Oh,
Yeah.
you turned it up." You said, "Not
I'm
only am I not going to be silent, I'm gonna
yeah,
talk in
we
a lot of ways." What?
all
What?
the way. We going all the way 100.
What made
We
you do
not
that?
stopping. We not stopping. My mom always told me I talk too much. So I'm like, you know what? Let me make it work. Let me just keep on talking. Let me
How is that going?
let me keep on talking.
Tell us your platform.
Oh, I love it. So speaking, everything is speaking now, never hold your peace or Ebony Stiff. And it's going really good. It's going really good. I don't only talk about things that, happen to me. I have different guests on. You gotta come on.
Period.
Yes, ma'am. And it's going good. I love it. I'm on the Alive Podcast Network, which is amazing, right? So that podcast was started by a Black woman for Black hosts. So everyone on the Alive Podcast app are Black hosts, and we all have different things that we talk about. So it's not oversaturated with the same information. So I love it. I absolutely love it. I get this mic, and oh, I got a new mic too. So yeah, I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm learning. Yeah, so I just talk like whatever's happening was whatever's going on. We're gonna talk about. It's not like a current events thing, but just it has to be something that's gonna uplift someone, that's gonna educate someone, and that's what I talk about, and that's what my guests, talk about and do. So I love it.
Doing that. Who told you to have a nonprofit? What?
Girl, keep going. Show the people what you got. So I was like, all right, I got it.
Tell us about
I
your
got it.
nonprofit.
That is like my baby. So I had oh my gosh, that's like my baby because the nonprofit is for patients and their families for when you're going through any medical trauma. So it's not specific to cancer or colostomy bags or any giving birth is medical trauma to some people. While it's a happy time, everybody's like, oh my God, people are really struggling sometimes with things, right? So anything that people identify as a medical trauma, we help the patients and their families directly. So if they need mortgage paid or rent paid
Mhm.
or bills paid or diapers or menstrual, items, a heating pad, their
Mm.
kid needs a ride to school, they just want to talk to somebody. If they want mental health services, we're there to just be a resource for the patient and their families because when I was going through that, I didn't have it. The resources came from my mom. It came, from my other family members and, my kids, but while they were being there for me, they needed things too. They needed a spa day. They needed a massage. Just regular things and just to get away even. So that's why the nonprofit focuses on just the patients and their families because the whole village needs help. So I'm excited about that. I can only say it's God. Like I put all of my faith in God and no matter what happens, it says, I can do all things through him. So it doesn't say only the good things. It says all. So all is like even the bad, like there's everything is working together for the good of those who love the Lord. And I love the Lord with all my heart. And while it looks bad, while it looks horrible, and don't get me wrong, sometimes I'd be like, Jesus, okay, now what are we doing? Like, oh, this is bad. Like it's gonna get worse. And I'm like, okay, it's got to be something good coming. It's got to be something great coming. And what better thing is it to just be a voice and to be a light and to help other people? And in helping them, I can say I've been there and look at me. Like, so you gonna be okay. You know. So I talked to a girl last week from through just her knowing my story and everything. And so she sent me a picture, she got her port in. She's gonna go through a treatment. So I'm so excited about that. So I like literally I was in the car and I just pulled down my shirt because I still have the same scar, right? I was like, girl, we're port buddies, I'm like, the scar is gonna go away. All of those things are temporary. Like I had it, so I had to go through it for me. I had to go through all the bad things and so that I can be that shining light in other people's lives and say, "Hey, look at me. You're going to be okay." So yeah. Yeah.
Listening to your story, seeing your beautiful face, I asked you earlier, who do you say you are? But after everyone listening to your powerful words and your story, who will we say you are?
You are going to say that is a strong woman.
Mm.
You're going to say she seems like she is so much fun. I can't wait to meet her. And you're going to say she's an inspiration to all of us. She
Amen.
is an inspiration to all of us and if I think I got it bad, it's gonna be okay. It
Amen.
won't last forever. So that's
Amen.
what you're gonna say I am. And you're
Amen.
gonna remember.
Amen. And lastly, because I know they saying now, I got somebody in Tampa and Miami that need to be bailed out. I need to get your book. I need
Yeah.
a house. I need to listen to the podcast and be a guest. I know somebody that can benefit from your nonprofit, all that. Where can they reach you?
They can reach me at Ebony Stiff. So it's Eboni and then Stiff Stiff on all platforms. And then once you get to Ebony Stiff, if you want to just go directly to the podcast, it's just Speaking Now, Never Hold Your Peace podcast. The book is Speaking Now, Never Hold Your Peace. But if you get lost in all the sauce, because I got a lot of sauce out there, just go back to Ebony Stiff, and the main page has all the links to everything that you need to find. And I'll
Amen.
be there. The bail bonds I don't promote as much because who wants to be on the page like, yeah, I just got out of jail, right? At least they
Yes,
know
'cause we
they know I have this service, so it'll be there. So Ebony Stiff and or Speedy Breeze. Yes. So yeah.
Because we
That's
all
where I'm
know
at.
somebody that,
That
or
knows.
maybe us. So we need the information.
Yes, and I am there. You wanna buy a house, you wanna get out the big house, it's all
Yo, that should be a
it's
tagline.
all the same. They'd be so mad at me if I do that.
Yo, that is, y'all heard it. Don't have nobody steal this. Ebony Stiff said that. That was good.
If they do not, now I gotta trademark something else.
That was it. That was
I
hot.
gotta I gotta get back I gotta do it now.
No, that's serious.
I'm so serious. You know, I trademarked "Speak Now, Never Hold Your Peace." Yeah, I did. I had to. I had to. It's so powerful. It means a lot.
Yeah,
It says a lot, and I'm like, yeah, so I did it. I figured it out, and I did it
I'm so
by
proud of you.
myself, so I'm excited.
That has
I'm
been
excited.
your life. You have figured it out,
Yeah.
and you have done it by the grace of God.
Yes.
Yeah,
Amen. Ain't no
y'all
other
heard
way.
it. Listen, Ebony with an I, Stiff. Look her up. If what she say, if you want to buy a house, get out the big house.
I'm your girl.
Listen, you have people that need help, nonprofit. Ebony
Yes.
with an I, Stiff. We
Yes.
appreciate her coming on Humanitarian Heartbeat podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having this platform and creating a safe space.
Absolutely.
I
Thank
love it.
you.
I
Thank
love it.
you.
You're
And we
so
ended
easy to
with
talk to. You're
thank
so
you,
easy to
love.
talk to.
Thank you, love. And we ended it with nothing else but Ebony with an I, Stiff. Deuces, y'all.
Peace.
On behalf of everyone here at the Humanitarian Heartbeat podcast, we thank you, the listeners. You could be doing anything else with your time, but you decided to spend time with us. And for that, we thank you. We feel so special. To our guests, thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to impart wisdom, information, and knowledge. What a blessing that is. To all of the listeners, please make sure to follow us on social media at the Humanitarian Heartbeat Podcast. Of course, you can listen to us on your favorite platforms. Find us on YouTube and make sure that no matter what you do in this life, you follow your heart. God bless.